Hey, this is episode 88 of Shatter the Vein. I'm sitting here in the hotel in Portland, Oregon, recording this episode. I got Billy Gei coming on to talk about the EU Winter Championships that went down this weekend. I was watching them a little bit, definitely watched those final games. A lot of fun seeing those players, definitely rooting for Team Secret. They've been on the podcast, so got to root for them a little bit. So it was really great to see them play. Probably going to spoil some stuff here on this episode. So if you haven't watched the EU Championships, go watch those, or at least read about them before you get in here, because we're going to talk about it. This episode's a little short because I'm traveling, and I kicked out that episode with MadeMoiselle. What was that, on Friday? We talked about the EU Championships, going into it, and we talked about the Femme Fatale Tournament that's happening this coming weekend, that everyone should be watching, supporting the girls playing Vainglory. They are some fantastic players. They are just as good as the male counterparts we mainly saw here in both NA and U Championships. So looking forward to seeing them playing this weekend. So that's EU, SCA, and NA happening. And then we talk about a little bit about eSports and shoutcasting here on this episode with Billy Gei. So yeah, it's a lot of fun hearing his opinion, him getting into shoutcasting, what he's up to. And then I want to mention the Patreon page again over at Shatter the Vein, or patreon.com/Shatter the Vein. I think I messed that up every time I talk about this. But yeah, if you can go over there, support the show, that'd be fantastic. We'd be doing more with the show, more episodes. Yeah, maybe some merchandise, some shirts. But I want to thank everyone that's listening. Even if you can't do that, no problem. Definitely love everyone that listens, tweets, leaves reviews on iTunes. I love seeing those, so be sure to do those. And if you have any questions for me, be sure to email me at shatterthevein@gmail.com. And love to answer those, read those on the episodes. And yeah, let's do it. Let's get into episode 88. All about the community as well. And this week I have Billy Gei on, straight back from the EU Winter Championships. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I am extremely tired. And I won't lie, maybe a little bit hungover.
Okay. It's been a long, rough weekend there, partying in London.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, not so much rough, just more so much there was a free bar at the party.
Sure.
That's what happened to me.
Well, yeah, I want to talk about the Winter Championships, but first I want to know a little bit about you and what you do.
Well, I can definitely answer that. No one knows me more than me. My name's Billy Gei, and I'm the official shoutcaster for the Guild Ardent in NA. I'm also manager of the competitive side, but recently I'm focusing more on the shoutcasting. I do many community events. No, just for the sake of community. Essentially, I will just shoutcast for people when I feel like it.
Okay.
And I think I've shoutcasted for people like Shinobi, the VG Fight Club, Green Ranger, many people, and it's just a lot of fun. I love doing it.
Were you doing any shoutcasting before Vainglory, or you just kind of got into it here?
I picked it up in Vainglory, yeah. It was kind of a weird story, how I started shoutcasting, believe it or not. Back in the day, I used to stream with a friend called Spicy Fires Pete, and we had some fun. We used to do some viewer games, and I used to be in the background, talking, commentating on the games. And then one day, very recently, I was in Shinobi 87's stream, and one of his viewers remembered me and said, "Oh, if you don't get Billy to shoutcast this next event, it's going to fail." Those were her exact words. Those were her exact words. And there's me sitting there I've never shoutcasted before. Don't make me do this. It's not. I can't be doing that. And Shinobi just turned around and said, no, I want you to shoutcast it. So I did, and here I am now.
Okay, so you must have liked it enough to continue on that path.
Yeah, it's definitely a passion of mine. I kind of went through life without a passion. Obviously, I used to like skiing when I was younger, but this one seems to be something that I want to keep going for and just try harder.
Okay, were you watching a lot of other video games beforehand and kind of just paying attention to this shoutcaster idea, or really
No,
just
no.
happened? Like, okay.
It literally just happened on the spot. I didn't plan for it. Someone just said he should shoutcast the event, and I shoutcasted the event. That's how it came about. And now I practice every night and keep my skills refreshed and I can't think of the words. Refined. There you go.
Yeah, sure. So how'd you get into Vainglory then? Like, were you see the Apple development stream or dev stream, or just come across it later in the App Store?
I just came across it in the App Store. I was sitting at home one day thinking, oh, I want some. Surely there's got to be like some decent games. Because I remember watching a YouTuber called Trendkill V01. Fortunately, he's no longer a YouTuber, but he was my favorite back in the day. And he used to play a lot of Smite, which was a MOBA. And it made me think, are there MOBAs on mobile? So I looked and then found Vainglory in patch 1.4 and have not put it down since.
Oh, nice. So you were playing other MOBAs beforehand, or you just watched them?
I prefer to watch, because I'm not the best at MOBAs. But Vainglory was because things like League of Legends, they're very good games, but they're really hard and complicated to get into if you don't have someone literally mentoring you and giving you 3 lessons a week. So it's very hard. But Vainglory was so easy and simplistic just to get into and have fun. That's kind of just why I've stayed with it for so long.
Mm-hmm. Who'd you start playing when you jumped into the game? Like, or what role do you tend to play now?
Anything really. If I'm just with a team, I'll just take what the others don't want to do. I used to be a really massive support, just because no one wants to play support, so you just you take that role. Now I'm leaning more towards lane now. Actually, I've been running a lot of Weapon Ozo in lane, which it actually works.
Fun.
Because for those of you who are listening to this in NA and don't know anything about EU, the EU meta right now is Scarf, Cruel, and Arden is the strongest comp.
Yeah.
If you run across that, run Ozo, Pedal, Catherine. It counters it.
Oh, okay.
It's absolutely fantastic. Because Cruel can't hit Pedal, Ozo just deletes Scarf, and then Catherine's just there because, she came along for the trip.
Yeah, she's the other support. We really only have, like, 2 options. So.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless you really want to run a Fortress, but then you'll be giving yourself a challenge.
Yeah.
What do you play in Vainglory, then? What's your main role or position?
If I'm playing with people, I usually go support, but lately I feel like the draft mode has really hurt a lot of people, so I try to fill, but if I'm first pick, I want to play something that's going to carry. Yeah. So it's a tough thing to be like that first pick. You're like, all right, I'll support and trust that my team's going to do right, pick the correct counter, and so, but I support quite a bit.
Yeah, I used to do that. Why is draft mode upsetting for a few people then? I've kind of missed that memory.
So I feel like there's not a lot of people that understand draft mode. I feel like Super Evils did a great job with like informing people that it's happening, but a lot of people don't know how to pick and counter pick and work with their team on like what they should pick. So it's hard to know, hey, I'm gonna pick this guy. We should probably have this other character to work together with this person, because most of the time people just play what they want to play.
They play what they're comfortable with. Like the problem, I think the biggest problem with draft is you can't lock and swap a hero if another person on the hero. Say someone wants Celeste, I don't have Celeste. I can't lock in Celeste and then give it to him. I think if you were able to lock in a hero you don't have but someone else had, and then you had to swap it out, that could be an improvement maybe.
Yeah, and the lack of communication on the draft screen, because I don't know, like, hey, maybe someone is like, I am the worst support, like, really, seriously. I should not play this at all. Like, I would love to just know this going in. Like, okay, hey, I can do that if you really think you're terrible at it. Like, okay.
I think they should like a chat and longer timers, because the timer's only like 30 seconds to think and critically think about it. So I think if there was like a small chat, like, and you had a little bit, like 45 seconds, you'd get, I think it'd be a little bit better. But I hear that SEMC doesn't want to put chat in Vainglory, from what I hear.
Yeah, well, it'd be hard in-game because there's too much to deal with if it's in-game. But I think,
not in-game, just on draft mode, I think it'd work.
Just on the draft mode, it could work, yeah. But I've also been knowing a lot of people, if they do not get the role that they want in draft mode, they will just AFK, or they will just troll. Like, they will play for like a minute, and then they'll just run around the map. It's like, all right, well, now you just wasted your time and my time.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that kind of thing.
No.
I always pride myself on good sportsmanship. If you don't get the role you want, just play another role. Just play a different one. It's always good
Right.
to expand your skill set because there are people in POA who only play like one hero, and you put them in a competitive scene and they will fall instantly. So while drafts around, just expand your skill set, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll level out at some point, but right now draft mode I think is a little frustrating, especially for the solo queue player.
Yeah, I don't solo ranked anymore. It's
Okay.
just it's too much. I just stick to casuals and play with my Crystal
Yeah,
Rosa every now and then.
yeah. I should probably just do that instead of forcing myself to the frustration that is ranked.
Yeah, I think I'm like skill tier 3 only because I just do casuals and just have some fun with my friends. I don't go all out and try and be hardcore, massive ranked. Oh, I want my elo. I just play Vainglory for fun. That's why I played it for so long.
Right. Yeah. That's a. I think you got the right idea. I think I need to adopt that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what my skill tier looks like.
Yeah. So back from the Winter Championships, how was it? Did you plan to go like a long time ago? Did you already buy your ticket and or was it the last minute?
It was kind of last minute. I got the ticket 2 weeks before the event.
Okay.
And it was about 2 weeks before. And then I thought, oh, I got to look for hotels, but I came extremely busy. I booked the hotel 2 days before I went to the event.
Okay.
And that was very stressful, having to book that and then going, oh, it's all the way over here. The Wi-Fi in the hotel was absolutely pristine, but the hotel itself wasn't great. I wish I would have put more research into it. But the live finals, they were amazing. They managed to get one of the bigger like gaming places called the Gfinity.
Yeah.
And the stage and the cameras, the lighting was all absolutely perfect. And of course the players were phenomenal.
So this looked like was it a movie theater? It kind of looked like it was in a movie theater.
Yes, it was
Okay.
in a movie theater, or as we call them over here, cinemas.
Okay. And so that's just part of the event space, or like is the same room that the championships were happening in, like tomorrow or even today? There's a showing of Zootopia playing or something.
Yeah, they looked like a room that was kind of like dedicated to eSports tournaments because there was a FIFA tournament I think running afterwards, but for them SEMC to manage to get that venue is absolutely astounding.
Okay, and you didn't make it to the last one, the autumn one, did you?
No, I didn't. Back in autumn, I wasn't even in Ardent back in autumn. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so no, you can't compare it to the two.
No.
All right. So
but
how
I can compare it between EU and NA, and the general consensus right now is EU is better than NA, just because of the venues. It's not me who's saying it. Even it's not just me. I didn't make that up. Just watch the EU Live finals and look at some stuff being held up. I think even DJ Sams was behind that one. It was just a massive laugh. Obviously, I think there were more people from NA than there were EU in that event. Anyway, there were a lot of developers.
So, at the event, you were there all 3 days. What did you think of the matches and the teams?
If I'm going to be perfectly honest, the teams they're all lovely people. If you ever meet someone in the team, you'll send them a message. They're really nice.
Yeah.
But with EU, the games are a lot slower.
Yeah.
I was talking to some of the shoutcasters, and to fill the downtime is so hard because the games are so long and practice. There's barely anything to analyze at the end of it. Because I'm so used to NA gameplay of just kill them within 5 minutes or we lose. And EU's much more relaxed and we're going to take our time with every game. So on the first day, it was kind of boring, but it really picked up on the second and third.
Okay, yeah, I didn't really have a chance to watch any of that first day, but I have watched a handful of the second day and, of course, the finals.
Yes.
If anyone's listening to this and hasn't watched it, we're probably going to spoil it here, so be prepared for that.
Spoilers!
Yeah, it does seem like they do have to chit-chat, kind of fill that time, like you said, like League of Legends casters, like they're always just BSing about random things because nothing happens, so it's starting to get a little bit of that. Just because like the Cruel and the Scarves, they have to build up and they have to wait till that 15-20 minute mark before they really become a threat.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's such a passive early game. Obviously, you get the odd gank every now and then, but there's easily like 3 to 4 minutes of downtime in between fights in most
Yeah.
games, which can be problematic unless you decide to run a buff Kestrel comp with
Okay.
your team secret, which was absolutely phenomenal. They played against Rebirth of Empire. Spoilers, and the draft was phenomenal. Team Secret, they actually psyched out Rebirth of Empire, I believe, and they got the Adagio.
Okay.
And Rebirth of Empire, I thought, we're going to take the saw from them. And they took the saw, and Team Secret, you just saw them like, yes. And they just locked in the Kestrel. And the next pick, because they didn't want saw, they completely psyched out Rebirth of Empire and then just destroyed them.
Yeah.
It was, the games can be won in the draft, but they really psyched them up.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a team you were rooting for going in?
Rebirth of Empire, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love it, because they're raw talent. How much do you know about Rebirth of Empire?
Not too much. Like the stories of like we know Team Secret and we know SK. Like the EU to NA stories don't always like translate or come over as strongly. I think so. I don't know too much about Rebirth. So I'd love to hear.
Yeah, Rebirth of Empire. They're essentially kits. One of their members is 13 years old. He's like the Enzio of EU.
Okay.
But he's so well spoken. He's got so much charisma for a 13-year-old, and he's so calm and collected. If you watch the second day of the finals, he's just bouncing around on camera. He's just a massive showman, and his teammates are very calm and collected, and they like to keep themselves to themselves, and they're just phenomenal people at that age to be playing professional Vainglory. It's astounding. I mean, I'm 19, and I barely have enough professionalism to get myself out of bed in the morning. And these guys are sitting here just competing at a professional level and holding themselves there. I mean, that 600 teams, they came third at their age is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, that was what was crazy about seeing D'Enzio and Halcyon Hammers like coming in second. And it's like you're not even on location playing with your team too, and you're able to pull that off. Wow.
That's even better. Like I think because of his age, he couldn't actually go to the Red Bull Stadium. Isn't that right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, like the Gfinity, you're allowed to bring your kids in there and stuff. So all of them were able there to play, and they also have a very heartwarming intro card, I think they call it. You know, when they do this video about the team and the backstage and all of that kind of thing. Like Halcyon Hammer's got a long talk about that one. Chiefs and Mid got that one. Rebirth of Empire's one is very heartwarming, and I'd recommend anyone to watch it.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'll have to go back and check that out.
No spoilers. I'm just gonna let you go out and watch it.
Just watch it. Okay. All right, I'll check that out. So the final day before the final day, was there any matches that like stood out to you? Like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened, or this team turned it around?
It was honestly that Team Secret and Rebirth of Empire game where they completely psyched them out. That was a highlight for me. That was absolutely impressive. Oh no, there was one more game, and it's in the finals. This is going to be a massive spoiler. It will spoil it for you. So if you want to see what the finals are, don't just go now. Go watch them. Come back. Okay, right. In the last game, it was Snow Tsunami, I think, or Snow Avalanche. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Against Team Secret.
Right.
And they were going to go all or nothing. Like, it was a 2-0 sweep already. Snow Tsunami had to pull something out of the bag, and they pull out a Celeste.
Yeah, this was the first Celeste we had seen in NA or EU. Like,
yeah. And it looked like they were winning. They were honestly destroying Team Secret for the majority of the match. And then all of a sudden, Team Secret just got one good team fight and just snowballed from there. It was very good to watch. It was definitely one of the more exciting games of that 3-day event.
Yeah, it happened like Team Secret or Snow had Celeste, Cruel, and Finn. So they were getting that combo, that like stun combo off with the Cruel ult, Celeste stun, and but that Finn pull was great. It pulled the entire team from the lane bush to Kraken, but it just kind of backfired. Like Celeste was kind of standing in the middle of that, and she got blown up really fast.
Yeah, I actually missed it, and then I recapped it. When they get pulled, Ringo is just taking so much damage from Cruel, but all of a sudden you just see Celeste die, and you see that he managed to, not only when Finn was literally standing on top of Celeste, the Cavalivar managed to actually hit Celeste consistently with his Twirling Silver and just take her out. And that was so precise. It was, Finn probably just kicked himself afterwards.
Yeah, it was like that's rough when it's like the one fight that you can pinpoint your loss to. It's like,
Yeah.
that's just awful because they just then took Kraken and pushed down the lane and won.
Essentially, yeah. Because Celeste just works so well at range. If you're new to Vainglory and you want to pick up Celeste, if you're close enough to get a basic attack off, you're going to die. That's essentially what Celeste is. So staying at the range, that's why they died so quickly. Because the moment Ringo was in range and didn't take any excess poke, she just fell.
Yeah. Man. But Team Secret went in with the one up because they didn't lose in any of the elimination rounds. So there was only 2 games there.
I don't know. No, I think Tsunami came in one up.
Oh, Tsunami came one up.
Yeah, Team Secret, they lost one and then had to bring it back up, and then they came in, yeah.
Okay. Did you feel like, I know in NA, the matches on the final day were all sweeps. Did you feel like you wanted more at the end there when we didn't go to a game 5 or anything on the finals?
Full Court Jester asked me the same thing, and I was sitting there talking to him, and I said, extra game, free drinks. Extra game, free drinks. And so, as much as I enjoyed the event, it was very, very good. I was kind of glad it was a 3-0 sweep, because then we could just go down and relax and just go and get some drinks and just hang out with all the players and all the people. So as much as I'm sure many people wanted, like, the intense, or will they win, will they won't, the games were intense on their own.
Yeah.
No Team Secret got their flawless sweep.
Okay. That's cool. So yeah, how was then? So the matches were pretty great. I would recommend anyone going back and watching some of these. Like, they're always, these are the best players in the world playing, so they're always neat to see the comps they run out. But then, how are the people? Like, the community is so great. That's what makes the game so awesome. Like, how was it meeting the people? Did you have somebody you wanted to meet, like even Full Court Jester or Humanist or any of the other shoutcasters or just other players?
I spoke to the shoutcasters first, like the moment I got there, and they're such nice people. You can just go up and just have a nice long extended chat with them, and that's what I did. Yeah. And then obviously I met, because they're like, as you said it perfectly, that the community is so lovely. You can just go up to anyone who plays Vainglory and just strike up a conversation with them. It was honestly such a good atmosphere. It was such a nice atmosphere to go there and just sit in that event and just be able to go sit next to someone and just strike up a conversation on how the games are going.
Yeah.
That's just Vainglory for you.
I know, yeah.
What was it like at the NA finals? Because I think you went to those ones, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to those. Very similar, like everyone is more than willing to talk to you. You do find out some people are like, hey, I'm behind the screen, so I don't maybe want to talk to you in person. Like, I'm a very nice person, but maybe like I like chatting behind the screen and playing the game. So we had some of that. Yeah. But for the most part, everyone's like more than willing to hang out, maybe play a game with you or just chat. So it's pretty amazing that these events are going to happen every 3-4 months and
that's
come
incredible.
Out. Mm-hmm.
So I think the prize funds this time, it was like $12,500.
Yeah,
which is I'm sure Team Secret were very happy with that.
Are you hoping to be able to make it to the next one? Are you trying to get in as a shoutcaster maybe next time?
I'm gonna play. I'd like to shoutcast the VGL. Like that'd be a dream come true. So
yeah.
So if I can go there and be a shoutcaster of the event, that would be incredible. But I get the feeling that at this stage of the point, I'd just be going for pleasure one more time, and then building out one more time, and then hopefully the next one I can shoutcast.
Because they do have their like core group of people that they like to use they know the game very well. But yeah, I wonder if they would like to have more local talent from each place. So maybe like Tasty Bacon and Four Cart aren't flying over. They can use some other people that are a little more local. Be cool.
Yeah, they did. So they did. Some of the developers told me they were always searching for talent.
Yeah.
So if you're good, don't be afraid to email any of them with a vid of your shoutcasting. That's what they told me. So I intend to do the very same. For
sure. Well, yeah. So those were the live finals. Like, it's pretty awesome to, be able to hear the, I guess, story from the other matches, not being able to go to it. Anything like feel like they could do better next time? Like, if you were critiquing it from the outside, like.
There were a lot of technical issues.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, the biggest problem in the live finals is there was a lot of unnecessary filler. We had these interviews with DJ Sams and this guy called Rick, And
Yeah.
DJ Sam's ones kind of added some value, and people were very happy with them. But then the other guy,
Okay.
he just seemed to be filler. And the main problem that I heard from back scenes was that they added this thing, and then the analyst desk still took the same amount of time.
Okay.
So it was taking extremely long to go from match to match, and it kind of burned the audience out on the first day. But it was very quickly picked up on the second and third.
And then was there any downtime for any of the games I saw? It didn't seem like I know at one point during the NA finals we had like a 20-minute pause just because some technical difficulties. Anything like that happen, or was it just between games it felt long?
We had a couple of pauses, but it's just that in between games it felt long. The only break we had was when Snow Tsunami won before the finals, and they had to play again immediately. So they've decided to just let them have a break before they came back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I would, if anyone was able to not make it to this one, even the NA or the EU, I'd recommend like trying to get tickets next time if you could, plan a trip around it. I think it's well worth it to meet some of the people you play with and the developers as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, one more thing before I let you get some sleep and get rid of that hangover.
Can you tell that I'm tired? How is it that obvious?
I got some form static. This goes along with, I think, the championships that happen. So on the forums, some people were saying like the eSports tab gets moved over. Like right now we have the news and then eSports and then community if you click on the news tab. During these events, the eSports tab gets moved over. Home screen is who's ever playing. Usually like a picture of maybe two people, like the showdown matchup between these two people and their two teams. And there are a lot of people that do not care about this eSports aspect of the game. Like they just want to play with their friends, and I think there's a lot of people feeling like they're being pushed. Like, hey, you have to know who these players are. Do you feel that way at all? Like you follow the scene and you're going to these events. Do you feel like you have to know who these players are? And it's like kind of, I want to play the game, get them out of my face.
Yeah. Well, it's competitive. Yes, I have to know who these players are, but you can easily it doesn't have to be thrust in your face in this style. I think obviously they want to be able to advertise the event, get the numbers on Twitch, that kind of thing. But for the casual player, they're not going to care. Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
I would have been like that if I wouldn't have joined Ardent. I'd been the same thing. I wouldn't be watching these events. I wouldn't care. I just want to play the game. So I think having the option there, but not like thrusting it on people is definitely the route to take, because it's still a game at the end of the day. Even though the esports is making SCMC a fair amount of money, not a lot of people care about that.
Right, because the esports brings fame and publicity. Like news articles get written, so then it kind of gets picked up on search engines and other people come across it, so maybe you get more players. But yeah, if you're just playing to have fun, and the esports thing can kind of be in your face, especially on Twitter and even in game, I think is the main place where people are like, hey, I want to play the game. I don't need to know this match is happening, and or it's even starting. I know sometimes there are push notifications that do happen.
Yeah, that's the only thing that annoys me. That's the only thing that genuinely gets on my nerves, is that when I'm sitting around playing or just trying to do something, I get a push notification saying that this match has started. Come watch the EU Live Finals. Like, if I wanted to watch the EU Live Finals, I'd be watching the EU Live Finals right now. because I'm in the audience. I got a notification from Vainglory saying the EU Live Finals are starting when I was sitting in the audience.
Yeah, like I know, yeah.
It was like, well, what? Am I at the right place? Am I? But yeah, I can see why people do it. But if you look at it objectively, there's also a large crowd of people who do want to know this kind of thing. So I'm not sure what the numbers are. It may be a 50-50 split, but yeah, there are also people who want to see this kind of thing, who want to know how the teams are going, who want to know how the games are going. So we're just staying objective in my point of view, and I just put up with it for now, because it'll be gone in like a week's time. Right,
and it's hard to say like, well, we can't get rid of it because then no one would know these are happening.
Yeah, exactly. You just hit the nail on the head. If this event, if they try to generate no publicity for this event, they would fail. Their sponsorships wouldn't get any publicity, and there goes some money from SEMC. So they have to do this in a sense,
Yeah.
because the majority, there may be players who come along and go, "Oh, I didn't know there were live finals. I'm going to have a look at this." There's going to be people who don't know, and that's just how I look at it anyway. Well, what's your honest opinion on this one? Do you hate it? Do you like it, or do you just put up with it?
I think I just put up with it. Like, I do like the esports scene. I follow it. I try to keep up on the players and know what's happening. So I'm very much invested in it. But I can understand the like backlash of like, man, this is just the game I play. I also play this other game, and now you guys are trying to get me to watch this too. I don't want to watch them. So
yeah, exactly. Then you just don't. You just slide it away and just don't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to go into a forum and complain about it, in my opinion.
Yeah, well,
but my opinion is just small and slight. But you can do what you like.
Yeah. The forums are used as a place to complain, so there's no doubt that's gonna happen.
Oh, I'm gonna get some hate comments on the forums now. There's, oh, Billy G, he said this stuff.
Yeah.
All this. I'm gonna run away from the community now.
Yeah, if anyone has any opinions about this, like, go over to the forums. I'll include a link in the description here of this episode, and you can kind of check it out and see what everyone's opinions are. But I think there are a lot of people that are like, I only care about Gangstars or Team Secret. Like, I don't care about these other teams. It's like, well, you can't have it both ways. Like,
exactly. you can't pick and choose. It's not like a pick and mix kind of scenario. You just take what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode. We're going to keep it a little short here, let you get some sleep, get back into your week. But for how can people find you, get in touch, hear your shoutcasting even?
Well, I'm around on streams. I normally, if I'm going to be shoutcasting, I'll say it on my Twitter. But my Twitter is @notbillygei, Gei.
Okay.
And you just find me there. Follow me, follow you back. We'll talk. I talk to anyone if they want to just send a quick DM. And I don't mind. That's just me. Yeah, I shoutcast.
Okay. So usually a lot of ardent events and player streams, right? That's kind of where you singing most often.
You'll see me on the Phoenix scrims every Wednesday as well.
Nice.
I do those for them.
Very cool. Is that with Dragonborn too, or is he
all with my duo counselor Burman? If he's there, he's also a member of Ardent. But if he's not, Dragonborn just sits there and helps me out.
Awesome. Yeah. Great.
I think you could be a good shoutcaster. Do you want a duo cast with me? Should we try that just for some fun?
I could try it sometime. Yeah.
Let's do it.
I know most of the abilities right now.
Let's do it right now. We'll do a podcast shoutcast.
We'll just make up what's happening. We don't even need a game.
Did a massive rocket leap there, stunned the entire team. My lord, how did that look, Brad?
Oh man. All right, we'll try this sometime in a game. We'll see how it goes. But all these episodes get posted on shatterthevein.com. Links to iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube as well. So any way you want to watch or listen to the show, it's available for you. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes. It gets more people watching the show, finding the show, and hopefully playing Vainglory as well, which is what we all kind of want, right? Promote the game. But Billy G, thanks for joining me. Everyone, thanks for listening, and we'll be back soon with another episode.